Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manicheans series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Mass channel. The newest video series of this playthrough, in which we had a bit of a slow start on the first episode, mainly talking about all things Manichaeism for the most part, and as well as the Uyghur culture and a few other features that we'd be using for this series from those mods. And we spent the first 5 years, just making money, acquiring wealth by any means, and invested on those that will make us more money in the long run. But now, let's focus on the here and now, adding water to water. Today, a local Manichean elect is given a sermon on the teachings of Mani. One excerpt from Mani's own writings strikes me as intriguing. The writings and the wisdom and the revelations and the parables and the psalms of all the preceding religions have been collected in every place. They have come down to my religion. They have added to the wisdom that I have revealed, the way water might add to water and become many waters. Again, this is also the way that the ancient books have added to my writings and have become a great wisdom. I am reminded of why it is important to understand other faiths and embrace their teachings as our own in order to enrich the teachings of the religion of light. So either gain 25 piety or 25 prestige. It's actually get a bit more harder to gain more fame compared to piety, so I'll say we must learn from other faiths with enthusiasm. Oh, and another event that popped up at the same time. Our relations with the local step committee is good enough that a number of the men have pledged loyalty to me, offering their services as warriors and bodyguards. Many are former mercenaries or adventurers who have traveled along the Silk Road to search for fame and fortune, so they're experienced and skilled in fighting. I'm most thankful for the support. Gained additional men. 150 only. 100 levies and 50 light footmen. Okay. We could do a bit more. Which, matter of fact, I plan on investing on some pikemen in the near future. Because they're good against the cavalry forces, with the exception of the horse archers. Because we know our enemies that on the frontier tended to be steppe horse lords. And they're cavalry oriented, so we need to get weapons that can counter against that, as we do not have that. But we'll invest in these as we're still in the making. Well, matter of fact, we're going to finish the hillside fields here. And then very soon a simple patch is made. So we will gain additional tax income from all the lands that I hold. And I will invest my money on writing an epic. Now before we do that, compile first Turkic dictionary. The heck? It's because you are learning and diplomacy are up, and also Mahmud al-Kashgari. I would not enact that decision because one, it would be anachronistic to do it this early, al-Tech, because that is meant to be composed by Mahmud al-Kashgari, who existed at a later start date, not here, not 200 years early. What are you, nuts? It's a bit odd, but anyways. Commission epic. Pay gold for prestige and possibly renown. Once epic's complete, you gain 75 prestige and may receive a family epic artifact. You'll likely get a better result if you have extra money to spend. With time, yes. But first, hold court. We want to keep the court grandeur up. Wants to make armor. How much? Competent in his craft. No thanks. some of that money might go to this decision. So let's hear him. A foreign guest approaches my throne and loudly proclaims, "It has been a while since I arrived at your court. I have carefully observed how you rule and address realm matters, both small and grandiose. I have been nothing but deeply impressed. Among the Ashkenazim is an old tale of a legendary ruler from a distinguished dynasty. It is a story that my mother told me when she was young. She heard it first from her mother oh so long ago. And now I have a great pleasure telling that I think you are the legendary Idikut of Ashkenazi legends, and I believe any true son of Ashkenaz would surely would agree with me." That's a bit far-fetched, don't you think? A mighty endeavor legend seed. Great deed for the Idikut Dietrich John God legend seed. But I'll have to take a chance because it gives me prestige and especially renown. I'll say, the Uyghur ruler does not care what Ashkenazim peasants gurgle about. That's far-fetched. Plus there's zero culture exists returns because they don't hold any territories. They have no cultural head. So, plus, renown, very important. And I like to gain more prestige because not only I spend it to hold court, but I'll make some of that back. A markedly disgruntled Yapkos Sagarak hurries to my throne. Liege, my legal rights over the baggage you took son are well attested. Those tracks have been long considered an integral part of my Agni Yapkonye. Will you relinquish what does not belong to you in support of my claim? You and I have issues. You know what? You must win it by the sword. We're dueling right here, right now. I'll get to your third petition in a moment. The Abdkos Sagarak and I stalk around each other, each weighing down our options. He hefts some fearsome sword. It feels cool and weighty in my grasp. The deadly feels in my grasp. I grip my own hammer. That's what I got. A hammer. I saw I jumped a bit out of time. This fight may be able to tell first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. I'll say this because I'm gregarious, and the fact that I have a diplomacy skill. So I'll give him a disheartening speech. No increase in my likelihood of success, but I'm expecting to get head forward, but it does give me more prestige, which I want more prestige. So I'll give him a disheartening speech. Launch a blistering spiel about his failings. Some might call me mad to critique every aspect of Sagarat's life in detail while he attacks me. They don't know the satisfaction of a captive audience. In a bid to humiliate me, he simply backs away whenever I get close, insults me in detailed depth, well aware I can't ignore him. My form is non-existent, my next risky move could mean defeat. His stance is disaster. Really match, with victory balancing on the knife edge. So what has happened is, he gained prestige and, so he insulted me too. It's like I insulted him and he insults me. We both have a risk of injury now. Although we haven't make a single blow. Both of our stances are disaster and evening match, so we just talked bad about each other. Right, now let's fight. I'll say, better men than you have died trying to break my guard. Strict guard. Focus entirely on fending him off. Low increase in my likelihood of success. No risk of injury. Nothing has broken my guard before, and nothing breaks it today. Sagarak keeps his distance, retreating from my every strike. His saying simply makes a snide comment after snide comment about my worldly fame till my patience utterly praised. You know what's a good way to earn a reputation, I ask? No response. Killing someone famous. Sagarak's momentary shock is all I needed to attack with a rapid thump straight to his chest. With the wind knocked out of him, Sagarak isn't able to put up much of a fight when I knock his sword away with my next strike. The resulting yield is equal parts humbled and bitter. I'm victorious. So we just talked bad, and then he kept talking bad, and then one hit with a hammer, and he's like, okay, I yield. Yeah. So, lands for keeps. Hope you learned your lesson. Now let's get back to this. My vassal, Bagnu, waits long and seeming distracted as promised. My lord, the nomadic Togahund borders are restless. Each day more of them cross from Nagono into my Baglichi at Chalk Creek. I fear that if they are not removed, they will soon have settled the entire Baglichi. We do have a bit of acceptance with Togahund, and they're not nomads, they're tribals. Unless you're talking about this person, who's also tribal. They're not nomads. Their culture is Mongolic. And we do make plenty of money, so... For the prestige, I'll say they must be sent back to Nagono. And now let's commission that epic. My family history contains many tales of great success and honor. Yeah, back in the Cognate days. If any of those would compose a single story, it would certainly reflect very well on myself. Once the epic is complete, I'll gain 75 additional prestige and may receive a family epic artifact. You'll likely get a better result if you have extra money spent. Time to start composing. This is going to be the only one I'll compose, alright? What I need is a classical tale of grandeur of my family, a chronicle about the origins of the Bilga dynasty and how we're destined for greatness. I only need someone who knows how to tell the story. Yeah. Oh, put me in debt for this. Although I do want a better epic for this, it needs to be exceptional, which is confers greater bonuses than the normal. Chances of epic being exceptional can be affected by event choices. Yeah, whoever accomplished storyteller though kind of goes against me being greedy, but I can get more money by different means. Like say, confiscate religious land is just one example. Just want to see how that looks. Ooh. Religious vassal opinion ahead of faith. Will not like me for this. Ask a vassal special contribution. Take prestige will take a hit as you are committing some serious difficulties. Tyranny will increase or fill coffers of gold. Or think of illegal ways. Increase your treasury, prestige, your power, legitimacy. Members engaging in a complex network of favors, bribes, or legal actions. Just or honest vassal will feel contempt towards you, while generous contempt will be unimpressed by it. Long-term consequences will be affected by your intrigue, which is average. I don't know. Or just simply borrow gold. Just borrow one and then pay the rest. So, I can meet with important people that lend me some gold. The amount depends on the rank of my main title. It will take around a month for the meeting with the lenders to take place. Of course, there's some drawbacks policies, but I'm in charge of the realm here. Which, again, this is the easiest option in the world, but that's a big hit of prestige, which can definitely get it all back when you go on a pilgrimage. I mean, that's an option. But reputation would not look so good on me, and would have a slower piety gain. I may be virtuous a bit, but greediness overtakes me. Just borrow gold, tempting as it is. Start the search. I'll be in debt just at least for, let me see, I'm trying to do my math here. About 6 or 7 months. You'll be fine. And plus structures about to be built, which will get more money out of it soon. My family epic seems to be progressing well. Some lines already sound they will be quoted for decades to come. But Atrak has lots of questions about the focus of the story. It would be easier to answer if we wrote it all first. Then I could tell him what I dislike about it. But he says he needs answers now. It should be focused on me and my dynasty, of course. I will gain more personal prestige when the epic is done. Because I wish to be distinguished. There we go. After a careful search, I was discreetly pointed at Kaja, a very rich man who could lend a realm some gold. Of course, my credit only goes so far, based on my main title. I am duly informed if I don't repay the loan with the interest in a few years, a special commission will be charged immediately. Greedy and temperate. And you lose some legitimacy for this. Just give me the paltry sum of 100 gold. So I'll repay the 125 when that time comes. And beware that your debts carry over to your primary heir. So I'll be indebted. I gain prestige because the greediness overtakes me, and the fact that I'm temperate. Ooh. Oh man. Prestige gain goes down. And so is the renown. Oh, that's painful. But at least we'll be making some money. I'll pay off the debt when the time is right. But the structures are complete, which is good. I never realized the innovations. We have mustering grounds, cultivator, finance, currency, and plenty of assemblies, and none of everything else. We were exposed to barracks, late antiquity military buildings. That would have been nice, had we known. My spy master seems to be the latest person to have read the excerpts of my family. Your great-great-grandfather was a fascinating, resourceful figure. One of my Coggins? Tells me. If it let it be known that you are even half as underhand as he is, people would think twice before acting against you. Or we claim he was honorable and upstanding. That Dragon's telling my Chancellor Overhaul about several exciting details he has discarded by my ancestors. Now I believe the part with the ancient emperor might actually be true, since an ancient Chinese emperor? Well, long ago, the Tang dynasty and the Uyghur Khaganate were kind of off and on allies, if I remember correctly from the history I've read about them. It is fascinating, to be sure, but it does not have a grand cargo to complete. As for this particular antidote, improved vassal opinion would be nice. Gold or prestige? Vassal opinion or the money? Some of the salary payment I could take back. And to pay off the debt. Subsequently. Oh, do I care about stability or money? Put it in a chronicle so it'll be done sooner. If I want their opinion, I ask for it, and I'll sway them. But don't pay off the debt right now. Wait till at least around 200 gold or so. That's what I would do. Cold Zud. That explains why it's still snowing up there despite the fact it's May. It's the steppe season. But again, this only affects nomadic rulers. I'm feudal. This does not affect me. My chancellor is reading my family epic as it's slowly coming together. A lot of it is not very plausible, such as the power of the ancient emperor, he tells me. On the other hand, who's to say what the past was like? If you're already doing embellishments, why not take it as far as we can? It is important that we tell a good story after all. 75 prestige with 75 renown. Alright, sway someone else. Which one of you unruly vassals? You're coming around. You. You're next to be swayed. Converted from Kyrgyz to Uyghur. That's good. It seems as if Beksin's been reading parts of my new family epic. That's my mother, mind you. Of course, she has discovered discrepancies between the promises made in the past and our current reality. I can tell she will not let go anytime soon. Sure, you can see how wise and benevolent it would be to fulfill your forebear's promise, even now. Huh. You're my mother, so I'll say my ancestors were pious, but not necessarily wise. After all, who knows who was responsible for the downfall of our cognate? There we go. Level fame up. But it could go down if we're not careful. I do not know whether to be relieved or disconcerted about the enthusiasm my mother Beksin shows after reading complete parts of Henry. This is a telling of a wonderful moral, she claims. The Belga dynasty has always seen greatness when advised by clerics, the elect, and dark times when it has failed to heed that advice. I hope it is a lesson you will heed equally well. After all, you're the Archbishop, you're the matriarch, Holy Mother. Increased piety and same faith task. Or just say it's the other way around. Gain more prestige and some learning lifestyle experience and some more renown. I'll say, ha! It is the other way around. The priesthood's always been with us. What are you talking about, Mother? Even though she's more virtuous than I am, so who am I to say? I just wanted to make my family epic great! I don't know what just came to me, it just did. Attrack has taken a number of liberties in my family epic in regards to warfare and battles. It makes for dramatic scenes, but I worry my marshal's been offended as he furrows his brow at a particular scene. I'm almost relieved when he finally shares thoughts. It's all nonsense, but this part with the ancient emperor has given me some ideas. ancient emperor. Like before the Tang, before the Northern Wei, the Han Dynasty, when they fought against the Xiongnu. I mean, how far you want to go back to our time when the Uyghurs rose out from you know, the chaos of the fall of the Goktur Khaganate. Let's see. Combat advantage or martial lifestyle, which will give me half of that experience. Ooh. You know what? Explain it to me in detail. I might need that in the future because when the time comes when I get more those perks. Look, I plan on resetting those perks. Move all of this over there. And when I become diplomat, I might switch over to martial for a little bit. Get this perk. Because, you know, we'll be expanding. That'll be my long-term plan. So, explain it to me in detail. Don't get the commission on Epic. You can only do that every 10 years. Okay, just remembered that. Hi. Just remember who your son is. Who's your son now? You might be one for diplomacy, just like me. So, I'll teach you. And in addition, I'm going to have you study, that reminds me. Hey, can you teach him the East Iranian language? While you're at it. Additional taxes, 80! Awesome! We can pay off that debt right now. Repay the loan. That's the word I was looking for. Not debt, repay the loan. Repay the gold you owe to the lenders. With interest. You got it. There. Get off my case. And I lost that stress because I'm greedy. That check has completed my family epic, and what a glorious chronicle is composed. It has high drama, moral quandaries, and dead stools. Everything my family has been forged from is in there, even the part with the ancient emperor, seemingly so far-fetched as to become a touching moment outlining the destiny of my house. This might be the greatest chronicle ever written. The Bilgai Chronicon. That's a mouthful. A truly epic chronicle of the glorious Bilga family, commissioned by Bokut, and enriched by vibrant illustrations of his glorious ancestors and their deeds. The cover is wood that's been painted to display a repeating image of a majestic bird. So, this is a court artifact. So you gain a bit of monthly prestige and renown gain, as well as a court graduate bonus of +1. And gained additional renown and prestige after finishing that. And that'll be the only one I'll compose. Why have you not put that there at the beginning? It's been sitting there for 7 years and you didn't put that on? What the hell? How did I forget about that? But hey, it does reduce a bit of man-arms maintenance a bit, so that helps. Okay, put that there. So there you have it. That makes the court graduate, you know, go up a bit. For war frequently. I wish I was administrative so buildings would be cheaper and built faster, but I think we've already done that. In terms of what is there to build, except maybe, since it's a northern frontier and it's not that big of a deal. Maybe build another economic structure to help us make more money. Like, say, desert agriculture. But I actually want to invest in some pikemen. The reason I did that just now, because... Oh, I noticed you're ill. Doesn't affect your marshal. Anyways. Man-at-Arms recruitment costs slightly cheaper. Because I want pikemen. And we can't increase the size just yet. But in 2 months' time we will. That's just part of me being prepared for, you know, expanding towards up there. You're going to be first in line. And then you. And then we got to subjugate... No, force vassalization of these guys. The Uyghur brethren, who are still nomads. But they're Tigrists, not Manicheans nor Buddhists. I don't know where they get that idea from. So it's time. I only commissioned one epic and that's it. Not gonna go get all the way to August. This is gonna put me to critical stress, but nevertheless. Excellent language scheme. Shorter truces and no prestige penalty for breaking them. It's so we don't have to wait 5 years. Ducal conquests, which what that is Cosmo allows a siege or a county is required to create an uncreated title of a duchy rank. And forced vassalization is what I want. It's forceful vassalization of an independent ruler of lower rank. So, can vassalize any ruler that does not have more than 4 counties in their realm. The limit is increased by +3 for each of these innovations. And now this defense negotiations, which you propose one alliance without a marriage. And fellow vassals and tributaries and independent rulers will look at you a bit more highly. In 4 years' time or so, we'll get embassies. Easier to learn language, and each alliance gives you more diplomacy skill. And then eventually get this, and then that. And then I'll switch over to Marshall to get this first. So we're in preparation of to get ourselves towards a more martial matter. My emotions have become more unstable every day that passes. All encompassing joy will replace the most profound sorrow from one moment to the next. And my court and I both grow weary. If only I could find a way to tame this whirlwind inside. I don't do that. You know, the inhabitant thing is considered a virtue to some religions, I think. Including, you know, it should be Manicheans since they're the monastic thing, and we're into temperance. But that martial skill is needed, so I must be strong and resist these impulses. But there's a benefit to that. Monthly income per stress level increased. After all the time I spent at court and how well he's gotten to know me, it feels strange he's about to depart. I have other places to go and other stories need telling, he tries to explain. You might be useful here. I also need you. Here. Stick around. Need to spend one more, then we'll begin, you know, to In fact, it's too late for that. Wife falls pregnant. Station them over there. You lost because you declared a war and you made no moves. So therefore, we're going to take this opportunity to do a forced vassalization one, unless you want to. His rightful liege. Ah, you being ambitious is the reason why you will not come in, but you will. And then you're next. Because of Naiman Gobi has not been created. Barajanga. Yes, I can do a forced vassalization against you, but it's going to cost me a lot of prestige. Yeah, bringing our Uyghur brethren in here with us would be a boon. Well, I mean, while not normally part of it, but it will make those shepherds come in. Well, these are actually two chieftains who are suzerain to it. Hey, if I make you a vassal, does that mean, will the tributaries be transferred to you? Or will they become independent and then I can eat up the rest? Well, I made my decision already. As the pikemen are being slowly recruited, we can win a few easy, small wars against them. And with you as a nomadic vassal of mine, I could definitely use you to keep them in line. Yeah, that's an idea. But mind you, these are independent entities that pays tribute to them. And who knows, once I expand my influence, maybe those that surround me will pay tribute to me, and I make more money. And more money means more investment on whatever I may need. Let's get to it. A ducal conquest for a county. But no, forced vassals is a better option, but ooh. Okay, we can do this, but we may not do the forced vassalization against them, unless you make... Well, there are ways to gain more prestige. There are ways. But first, let's fight an easy war here. It'll take you 5 months to assemble the whole army. Fortunately, Brother Butch, he's both a defender and military engineer. How old are you? 33? And you're 33 too. Hey, aren't you the... Yes. Capital's over here, so go straight after him. There. They were thinking about advancing towards us, but our men-at-arms are now assembled. Along with the pikemen that is slowly being recruited. Not fully fledged. You know what? Stop gathering. I think that's enough numbers. We don't want to waste any more time. Get to it. Because the rest of it is just levies from other parts of the realm. There are many people who ascribe all manner of ill omens to black cats. Some even claim that seeing one is portent of death. Today, I just happened to come across a stray black cat when I was outside. Surely this can't be a sign of bad luck, right? I fear no cat. It looks even sweet. Ah! Something doesn't feel right about that cat. They say this character has acquired quite a bit of misfortune in her life, thanks to a kind of a black cat for the next 5 years. You got a family, right? Actually, he's there. He's not leading his army. Oh, goody. We can take the capital and win. That's all we need to do. While I'll slowly make money. How long will it take? 6 months? We can do better. Switch to Butch. He'll get it done. Quicker. Oh, by the way, Kushinya. Mind if I learn the Ashikuchi language? That's also known as Tocharian B. Valuable support from the local community. Members of the local steppe community are keenly aware of our mutual external threats to our continued prosperity. They provided me with some military supplies and intelligence as a result. All of the supplies and the information have come from various contacts across the Silk Road, stretching all the way from the farthest reaches of Central Asian steppes in Siberia. My efforts to reinforce relations with them have not been in vain, it seems. If we're to stand together, prosperous, and partners along the Silk Road, we need to trust and work with each other like this. Glad we're on the same side. Significant intel from the Silk Road. This character has allies in the local community of foreign origin who recently used their networks from across Silk Road to provide this character some useful information about the various plots and schemes currently going on. So, plus 12% of the initial hostile scheme success chance, as well as personal scheme success chance. And advantage, plus 6 if I were to lead an army. Right, yeah, I could. I could do that, but if I was in battle with no commander traits, you have to be mad to do that. Despite my stress, monthly income per stress level does go up, because I want more money. And we're going to get some here. So the loot is 16 gold. Praise the mother of life. Shoyig is give birth to a perfect little daughter. Who will you become, child? What shall I call you? Name you after my mother? Well, let's try something else. Songbu. Like that Turkic sounding name. Learn both Scott. Soon he'll learn East Iranian, which does consist of Sogdian, Pashtun, I believe, and Saka. Khotanese Saka. Don't know where the hell they're going, but it matters not now. The lure of language. Ruling the multicultural Ethnicities of Jungard comes with its own set of challenges. Foreign courtiers often feel alienated when they cannot speak their native tongue in court, breeding resentment. My vassal, Compatibility suggests I could significantly improve relations with my Kuchina courtiers by learning to speak their language alongside my own. Well, that's what I'm doing! That's what I'm doing. I ain't spending... Well, hang on. We need the prestige to declare the next vassalage war against the Uyghur to get them in. I'll say, why bother? Uyghur is clearly superior. I need the prestige so we can start another one against them. The alchemist reached for the register when we tried to number all the donkey carts in the realm as the launderer looked on in fear, and then son of interrupted by fuming Kamatik Slarakita. Did you call my beloved father a swain and a fornicator? He screams. I demand recompense for this grievous insult. Perhaps my Ashikuchi needs more practice. Oh boy. Hey, I'm just practicing my Qocho, alright? I misspoke. He successfully exchanged his misunderstanding. I step out of my tent and the siege camp sprawls out before me. A haphazard tapestry of tents, pavilions, and ovals built of facile materials, drawn up with no skill or artistry, and clustered higgledy-piggledy among the trees. Dark tarred canvas stretched over wooded frames shelters the tents of the nobility and those who serve them. Colorful tent carpets cover the crude ground between. Pennants snap in the stiff breeze. Very long-haired commanders sit at tables trading gossip and tall tales. Confer in private. The urgent whispers drifted on the breeze. My low retainer approaches and enforces the siege is ended. I gather my bodyguards head to the edge of the camp. The tribe of Bokut stands before me, a ravaged landscape. I see ravaged, abandoned fields and starving cattle and deer picked almost clean. Bodies strewn about, limbs piled up in mounds. A man's brain and brown vessels lie sprawling in his crushed skull. Black-veiled women wail in the streets. My men look at me for direction. Hey, gold for everyone, including me, so limited looting. My men drag a surviving cord of the tribe of Bokut before me after the siege. What should I do with them? Imprison them all. We almost have it won. We're just short of it. I guess that means you will take this next place, since he refuses to surrender. And you're an honest physician. Excellent, Mother. I was hoping it would just end right then and there, but not the case. Who knows where they're going? But they're going to be our vassals, and this one's going to take a little longer because they got a small hill fort. Not what I had in mind. But, however, now that you're arrived, and since you're the chief, I can definitely ransom it. Because the war score will be 100 anyway when we take this place. Ah, hang on, that's not correct. You ain't got no money? Poor bastard. You don't have good martial. And you... Oh. You definitely might be good for something. Fellow, Uyghur and Manichean. I'll recruit you. You might be useful for something. Oh, actually, no, he is my courtier. He's the one that escorted these prisoners. He was the guy that escorted. My apologies. I mean, we do have him, and that man here is making way better spy master. But I do not wish to anger him. Not right now, anyway. Hurry up and starve so we can get it down faster. Saucy rings between my wet nurse, myself, and my mother. Lately, I can't help but notice the gaggles of giggling maidens and usually austere warriors gather in the dark alcoves to listen, enraptured to a book. Today I finally cornered the dim with a book in her hands. It is clearly Atlantis text, filled to the brim with sensations, temptations, earthly seduction, and supple bosoms. No. I am stunned as I ponder the probable reaction of Archbishop Hexen, my mother, and Yildim stares at me in apprehension. Think of the children! But also be gaining quite a bit of dread for that. But let me see. Children educated at court be likely or devoted, curious, lustful, or cynical. Intrigue. Actually, culture comes in any form. Let them read. Because I like the learning lifestyle experience gained here. And a bunch of court grandeur. But however, if I do see my children become either lustful or cynical in their lives, they need to start taking those weekly confessions to get rid of them. Plus, I already have some of that, so we're jumping ahead a bit. This week's personal briefing, Smiris warned me the internal security of my realm could very well be improved if I provide the necessary funds to expand the list of informers within my borders. I continue stating that while the sum demanded is significant, my city should be placed at the center of my policy, and the gold provided would be enough to pay me the expense for a period of around 10 years. In the knowledge my vassals will not be happy with more intrusion over their own domain, I go think over the matter and come to a final decision soon. Good God, man. The next 10 years? Reduce the enemy hostile scheme success chance. Or I could dismiss the idea. Increase the stress happens if your character is either paranoid, deceitful, callous. No, I don't have that. I may dismiss that idea because, you know, me being greedy, money's got to be saved and spent elsewhere. And plus, I may fire you as spy master. But at the same time, I'm trying to sway this man. Well, actually, he's already in our way. Yeah, I've swayed him enough. Okay. And so I'm going to start swaying you because you will lose your position, as I do have someone better. Him. With his high intrigue, he can protect me. And I may give him a gift of entertainers to make up for it. Some sturdy, strong youths from the local steppe community have offered to become my bodyguards. Inspired by my efforts to reach out to the community, they wish to return the favor by ensuring my safety. Elders in their community have vouched for their skills and experience in fighting. Some even served as mercenaries elsewhere in several few years, and that they would protect me fearlessly and serve me with their utmost loyalty. I feel safer already. A minor contingent of bodyguards. Members of the local community of foreign origin along the Silk Road, including a number of military veterans, recently pledged their services as loyal bodyguards to this character. Promise +1 and -5% of the initial enemy hostile scheme chance success for the next 10 years. Just a few more months. And hopefully get some more desertions to get the siege progress go up faster. Corporeal conquest of the Pata of Vamna. Someone's being a little bold against you. You know, traveling into there would be quite far. But it seems you already got this handled. They have the advantage in battle. Is that the reason why you called me over there? Today, a caravan of a well-known merchant has arrived in Qocho. It is said that this trader is famed across the Silk Road for carrying all manners of trinkets, in good quality, from all corners of the world. The caravan will do business in our territory a while before moving on. Knowing we're about to get a few loot, and then I'm going to loot the damn place again. Perhaps I could buy a few trinkets. 50 prestige gain. For a year, bit of development growth of popular opinion in Qocho. Yeah, let me buy a few of these. So that's the reason why you want me over there. So you lost that one. But don't worry. I'm confident you'll get back at them. You nearly have all their territories occupied. Even though it's a defensive war. Who else is against you? No one, just them. And they've occupied a bit of that territory. It'll be in vain. We'll win this anyhow. Just hang on. Step out of my tent, rub my eyes, siege camp sprawls up before me. A patchwork tent city standing a rise overlooking the tribe of Kaptag. Flags flap and flutter along the horizon. Various fires burn. The smell of tar and neat's food oil hangs in the air. My low retainer approaches and forces sieges on it. I gather my bodyguards, head to the edge of the camp. A tribe of Kaptag stands before me. A charred, charnel heap of rubble and bodies. In the fields between, many of my comrades lie dead, their blood mingled with that of their foes. Burned bodies lay at the ends of sharp steel, mangled beyond recognition, and perhaps deserving that mercy. Surrendering soldiers look on in fear and desperation. Loot the place. We win this one, and you are my new vassals here. And I'll see too what I can do for you. Want her back? You better pay up, you. Ah, no wonder. Poor bastard. And also, fellow clan vassal means another taxpayer. Okay, here's the trick. They're gonna go home. Move the rally point down to the border. Down there. And raise them again. Because traveling from there all the way down there would take half a year. So disband and then put them over here. Smart and takes up less time. So Vamna's in trouble. Although we may not make it over there. Because we're waiting for men-at-arms to be here. Because our combined force should defeat the enemy. Unless they're heading for Vamna to try to make another desperate defense. Bagtel is first and Ruby. As I patiently wait to fetch you my clothes, servant says, "My lord, no one can find your garments. I'm surrounded by incompetents, I mutter, storming from my chamber. It's in my son Pangtele's room. I discovered it not only my rains, but also the boy's wetness. I had no part in it, my liege. He dressed himself," responds with a giggle. A little scoundrel. As I lean over the map of my chamber, a sudden creak turns my head towards the entrance. My son Pangtele appears at the threshold, walks in the room. He looks at me with an inscrutable look for a moment, and walks over to me, wrapping me in a tight hug. I look at him, a hidden tear in my eye, while my hand is stroking his hair in an effort to reciprocate the gesture. "You're a good son. Do not cry. Do not cry. Some stress loss. You don't want to become too stressful, because you're prone to greediness is unbecoming of me," one would think. In less than a month, they will make another defense, and Revikara imprisoned my sister. For what crime? What crime has she done? But they're starting to run away now. Will they engage or will they get away? They're in battle now. But keep in mind, the enemy has a higher advantage. If the red gets captured in battle, well then that's a problem. Advantage them. Finished reading the latest letter from my vassal and smile. Seems to warn me at the last. What a success attempt to use this opportunity to try to get even closer. 30 opinion has happened and try to gain additional opinion from him. Time to put my diplomatic skills to test. 98% chance success. He appreciates the effort. Oh my god. By the Father of Greatness, you got yourself captured. You fool. You let them... You had it won. That's the reason we called for help and we're too late. Because of your idiot self got captured. You split the land in half. Thanks for the money. So now they move their capital to Don Oilik. It does not bode well. Because you will no longer have the 8 protectors because Khotan is not being held by a Buddhist ruler. But the lands may split between them. The Earl of Khotan will go to Norbu, daughter. The land may split, but you think it'll be the opportunity for you to take your land back? If you can, I'll be willing to support you. Ask again next time. Now, as for you, are you willing to join in? He will. Alright. Okay, but it'll be with religious exception. He can keep his Tengrism. Yeah. That means another taxpayer, which we don't have to fight a war over it. Now the Kyrgyz Khaganate has recently made the Uyghur pay tribute to them. And they in turn. That's problematic. Because we thought the Kyrgyz influence on their hold of the world would be weaker. Even they have their influence as far as the Uyghurs law. What's going on down in the Samanid realm? Tyranny, claim, independence. Realm is split. Ho ho. That's sounds like an opportunity. Hey, you want to negotiate an alliance since I have that ability? You will, because we're fellow Manicheans, and you're a diplomat. You see things my way. And there will come a time when we come over, when the realm is no longer, remote between each other. But your stubbornness will be an issue. Not tribal, not rightful liege. There will come a time, and we have to fight against Sia to get this and that. Level 4 fort, level 1 fort. As I said, we'll get them in. And I wish we would have them too, but keep in mind, which we do have the prestige for it. The real question is, I mean, besides them, will the Kyrgyz intervene? Because if they did, we're screwed. And our neighbor next door, they got a bit of a bigger herd than the Uyghur. We're gonna need more pikemen. That's what I was trying to invest in more of earlier. In offensive war opinion, 10. We can wait a bit. We can wait a while. A major fire recently swept through a large town in Toxon. It has nevertheless devastated much of the settlement and left many dead or injured. Given the town was of regional importance, the disaster could have long-term consequences. 7 years or 3 years? Damn it. I'm sure the commoners will figure out how to endure. I'm not putting my money on that. We're just adopting a wait and see on the Kyrgyz. Because things change fast up there. My court tutor Shapo has been aiding me day and night in my efforts to learn Antiquity. His dedication to the art of teaching is inspirational. There's not a day when I'm not bought a Antiquity letter to read, a learned Kushina man to converse with, or extraordinary mnemonic rhyme. True, I would not be this far along without Shapo's help. Hey, he's doing his job well. Almost there, though. Plus, with additional taxpayers, more money and more levies. And we didn't find an actual single battle. Not yet, at least. Dedication to my faith. After lots of hard work, nothing. It is impossible to learn the Antiquity language. No matter how hard I try, I'm spirited like the barely weaned baby and ride like an unlettered blind serf who's missing most of their fingers. This was a waste of time. No, I need to start over and do it right this time. I mean, I have been getting quite stressful and... Hey, they broke away. Should we fight another quick war so I can, expand more to that frontier this way? They're not paying tribute to anyone. How would you feel if you'd like to come in? They'll say no because you're nomadic. Major difference in your tiers. Oh, you are a beg. So... Another quick war would definitely, I'll shake them up. A Doko conquest or a holy war. They cost similar. A forced vassalization. Doko conquest. It would do holy war. That's their only neighbors. It's just the separatists that will not intervene. I'm not that worried. So, if I were you, I would put the rally point over here. And what's their herd size? Well, it's pretty sizable. And is said to be a hero. Phew. But the offensive war opinion... And there is no fort level up there. Well, actually it's 3. Defensive measures and ramshack main youth. Okay, that's actually the minimum. The defensive measures because of his it's because of that. I paid a visit to some small ruins not too far away. Locals said many generations ago it served as a tiny Manichean temple area. A place for those who truly believed in the Father of Greatness to worship. The others are skeptical. Regardless, I prayed there for a while. All he did out of courtesy and obligation. It's because of defensiveness. That's why it's a bit higher, slightly. But it is no matter. We'll have him beat and it'll join us fairly quickly. Because again in this outline, we need this, this, and that. That's another chieftain. That is another chieftain, so there's 3 chieftains. Not to say chief, yeah, they're all nomads. I've got an idea to attempt to serve my interests. With the right arguments, I might be able to convince him that I'm acting not merely in my own interest, but in the interest of the Father of Greatness himself. Perhaps I should keep the diplomatic niceties. Also, while you're at it, I think you should go to a confession. This is the first time for this series. Perform the weekly confession of sins. The weekly confession of sins is an important practice of your faith. In order to purify ourselves, it is important to frequently confess our sins as Manicheans. Those who are not party elect are expected to do this once every week at minimum. You lose a bit of stress because you are temperate. Gain 25 prestige. You have a 3% chance of losing a negative or sinful trait. Gaining a positive trait based on your level of devotion and traits. Gain random amounts of anywhere from 25 to 52 piety depending on your level of devotion. For historical context, an important obligation of the members in the Manichean religion was a weekly ceremony when lay believers and clergy had to gather to confess their sins and atone in a highly ritualized fashion. Sources differ on whether these weekly gatherings happened on Sunday or Monday. Or likely there were some regional differences with what happened during these confessions. For instance, Central Asian and Chinese Manichean confession ceremonies may have been influenced by Buddhism. It's available for those who have this doctrine. There are a few things I enjoy more than that, Druck's company. We walked to town together, tossing the coin to the poor, and forgiving a daring pickpocket. A few acts of charity and forgiveness could truly ease a stressed mind. Oh, I'm greedy, I shouldn't be doing that. After this short break, I felt more at ease than I had in a long time. I'm lucky to have a friend like that, Druck. Nice little break. The permanent stress I immersed as I'm about to go into my everyday business takes its very significant toll on my mind and my body. I'm aware of the risks I face, but maybe now it's time to think again and take a calmer approach to life. I should risk, I guess. If you have more than 99 stress, you run the risk of getting this event. The higher your current stress score, the higher chance you get it. Thresholds are 100, 200, 300 stress. Oh god. You might become a lunatic, or become melancholic, or worse, infirm, or nothing happens. I got melancholic. Okay, that's all. It's alright. It's just a moderate penalty, and minus one of all skills, except learning. Lowered fertility. I mean, this one can go away with time over a certain event. This is me, though I don't always feel like myself. Our sins hold back the light on this one. One of the most important tenets of Manichaeism is the weekly confession ritual every Monday. Sin delays the salvation light in our souls from this material world, the world of darkness. So the confession ceremony is taught to us by the Prophet Mani so that more and more light can be liberated. This week, I've been inspired to focus on this ceremony more than ever before. The elect have gathered to hear confessions from myself and other hearers. Where your side is hiding. Or as the Jardian Sims that urge us to observe our recent deeds, distinguishing between the good and the bad, discipline ourselves to be better and better. And less sinful we are, the more light we can liberate. Our souls and all light will be liberated from the darkness. 42 piety, 10 stress loss, because I'm tempered, 25 prestige, 3% chance of getting rid of a negative or sinful trait, and gaining a positive trait based on your level of devotion and traits. Like, say, greed could become generous. But I don't know if it removes melancholy. Very low percent chance, so I doubt it makes very little difference. But there are ways to improve those chances. Hey, they went independent as well. How about you? They'll say never, because they're nomads. Despite intimidation and rightful liege. It's good that they're slowly breaking away. Level 2 fort. Yeah, we could pick you on first. Move it back a bit, in case they go on the offensive. But let's start in the next season. Next month, I should say. Oh yes, it's time to reinforce relations to Soccer communities again. Good timing though. 10 years. It's gonna be the same. Give me the steppe community and more steppe warriors. It's a good thing we saved our money for that. There you go. Fresh steppe warriors. Same amount as the previous. Well, the offensive war thing's going down, and so is the tyranny. I think it's fine to conquer them. Just a bit of a holy war will do. I don't know why it had to be 2 armies. Just wait for the men at arms to appear, then go. The states of the realm he's talking about. I wait patiently on my throne the arrival of Yapko Sagarak, who soon announced an usher before me. Kneels in deference as attendants bring forward his gifts, a coin and precious objects. The oath is taken, and scribes record his pledges, so the Egalitarian of culture. No, the Yapko. Clear practice Shah's Turkic vows and mispronounced several sections, humorously changing their meaning and leaving my court to stifling tennis. Make him lose his legitimacy. You have any idea what you just said? Ah! He committed an embarrassing fault. Okay, now we're rivals. Now we got issues. But are you willing to plot against me? Because, you know, I can easily revoke your title away if we come to blows. Enemy ally joins. Where are my men in arms? And is that really all they have? Stop the gathering. Move up. Cost less. And the chieftain's out there. If you can capture him, good. Or just let him get away, which is better. Even though it would prolong the war by slightly. But with its lowered fort level and a very small garrison, it wouldn't take long. Gained a bit of stress because of Garius because it didn't sway him. Ah, Spiced Wine by the Lake by Utari of Uniki. A truly great collection of Ashikuchi poetry. Time of heritage. The mightiest men must leave this earth, no matter what realms they have given birth. 'Tis rare enough for men to admit all that they leave behind is shit. That's trying my hand of poetry too. If I was a poet, what do I gain from it? Diplomacy per level of fame. Stress loss. I think I will give it a try. You find yourself quite talented. You are a poet. Nice. You challenge me to a board game? Where are you? Oh, the Nyman's over there. Next door neighbor. Sure. Play a game of chess here. Chieftain Ketbook has already beginning to wait our little chess match. Search way across the competitive grass sword across this feature. We're neck and neck, nearest equals victory. If war is easy as chess, I'd rule the world by now. That's not but then that's just me. He's got high intrigue. So Marshall's countered by intrigue. Intrigue is countered by learning. So you should go for learning. I've read entire manuals on chess. Match marches on. Ketaba continues a bumbling attempt to replicate the moves of better players. We're neck and neck. Don't feel too bad, Susan. My opponent voiced honeyed sway caustic as sin. Even earlier couldn't follow my moves. So my techniques can lead for my opponent. Good. Think you're winning, but the only thing I want you to think that. And I know and I know that you know that I know you know that. What the hell? You think you can outthink me? It's a critical success here. Cunningly frozen. I'm beating him immediately. Victory's so close I can taste. You look like you need a privy. Feel free. I'll guard the board. We both stare at the final piece. I did it. I've won. This game of chess is mine. Another fine victory on an indisputable rise towards the role of king of games. Nothing but the shallow husk of a man left. Can't believe I've won. He took it personally, that man. Also, I'd love to play again sometime. Don't take it too personally. So he agrees that it was a good game. Don't take it too personally, because we're going to have your land sooner rather than later. Come in, Butch. We need your siege expertise. With my name, my son, Pangton's wet nurse parade around the chamber. Yet opposes like a herald that proclaims, my liege, you witness a monumental occasion. Pangton is a mighty gift to offer you. Go ahead, Pangton. Tell Father I lost a tooth. My son proudly presents his toothless smile, handing me a pouch with a fallen tooth inside. Lovely, but keep your tooth as a good luck charm. Good charm. Alright, let him take over. Do your magic. War shouldn't take long. So we'll do something about the Uyghur, since they have a weaker horde. During our lessons in my son Pactez chambers, I noticed a impressive amount of rocks neatly displayed on a shelf. One of the stones stand out in the collection. It is quite rough, but upon closer inspection there's a deeply red, brilliant fluid contained within. Pactel notices my interest. He picks up a hands on. You can have it, Father. Oh, thank you. Is that a gem? A modest gemstone. +1 learning? A bit of prestige. A fine gemstone unearthed by Pactel in the vicinity of Qocho. There you go, my first trinket artifact. Hurry up and get this. It'll make excellent progress. I discovered that Bog knows that Heritage contract. All blogs and then more collected. What's his current contract states? Do I really want to make it higher than it actually needs to be? It's not that much actually. So this is going to be without tyranny, and he'll hate me a lot more for this. But I'll let it slide this time. I'll get a weak hook on him. May use it for something else. King Mingzhen of the... I've heard good things about you, Bokut. I am interested in starting a written conversation. Hope this letter finds you willing, for I am waiting your swift reply. I'll start exchanging letters with him. My son Pangtai finished the lesson held by a shop on the management of the treasury and the gold theory. It only seems that bits of mentioning gold have struck. Now that he's levying small taxes for all the servants he can chase down, much to collect annoyances. Are you greedy like me? That's right. Nothing's more important than gold. Trust me, being in the Silk Road, you'll understand me. Thank you for the swift response. I'm looking forward to a correspondence. Please, I implore you, pick the first subject for us to discuss. You have diplomatic education. I'll say, please tell me about friendships. Gotcha. A haphazard clutter of soldiers, tents, horses, and siege weapons. Flags and standards flutter in the fading light. Where long-haired commanders sit at tables, trading gossip and tall tales, conferring cover to private. Dirigent whispers drifting on the breeze. Loyal Terran approaches and forms the sieges and get him about to go to the camp. A settlement of Tengergej stands for me. A ravaged landscape, and the fields between. Tents burned and bodies are strewn. Beyond clouds of hungry flies and dust, I note the stench of brimstone. Grieving widows huddle on their doorstep amid mounds of blackened bodies. Loot the place. And prison everyone you see. Because this land's conquered. Now, here's the problem with this. You are not supposed to hold that territory. Because you could abandon this holding and give it to a herder, but no. You could feudalize, but the problem with that is, that costs 500. And this affected 30 years and all that. So if I were you, I would give it to... So I don't know if wrong culture would actually make a difference here. But it has to be of our people. Okay, it does change. So, we have a beg here. He will serve under us. Good. Good. So you do hold a grudge. We had a grudge? We had issues in the past? Well then, whatever it was, I'm willing to forgive. What was the reason for that? Removed from his political position, replaced with another. Okay, tell you what. We'll make it up to you when I gain more land, because they're next. And you're going to be the holder of that territory when we conquer that. Got it? So I don't know if having nomadic vassals under my culture and faith will be a good idea. Which is why I even proposed about taking all this. Defensive War is 14 because you took a bit longer than you would, so give it a rest. Because we're steadily climbing. Currently being raided at the moment. And you know, since they're being raided, it would be easy just to swoop in and take the place. They'll never accept different faith, nomadic, fickle. Unless you wish to intimidate him further, but we shall see. Calm down, man. I'll try to make it up to you. To think you're a subject dear to me, you truly know me better than most. Since you indulge me, I must ask if there's anything I can do for you. That's for the county, not the country. I only wish to continue exchanging letters. 300 diplomacy lifestyle or 100? 300. Good. Now we have embassies. Learn language faster. And those alliances I have will diplomacy up a bit. Just a bit. In 5 years' time, we'll get this, and then. So basically, by the time I turn 48 or so, we'll be getting diplomat. I'll switch over to try to get this. Hey, since January's coming up, I want you to, we need to hold a special ceremony to get rid of this stress. Yes, I do have rivals. Keep vigilant. Matter of fact, get your bodyguards. Since you don't have them. Butch is one. And then, oh, you have cancer, I'm sorry. Bokut. Two serves my bodyguards. In case of such things like that. Forgot I left that on. Wait till January. Why January? Well, because one, I have the money, and two, well actually, you may want to hold that off until next year. Commission another Manichean manuscript. I forgot the time to do that. Because we've already got the Shabura gun. Now I would like to have the 7 treatises. The Manichean spiritual canons are made up of 7 books, personally written by Mani himself. This will reduce the gold cost for perform weekly confession of sins and a Bema festival activity. Because I wanted to do Bema. But we can't do that. Especially me being such a cheapskate. That I would like to have it done. And I'll work at it myself. Yeah, you got raided. What are you going to do about it? Well, in the meantime, we can hold the court again. Let's hear it. Oh, Manicheans Bokut, Jaglika. I have travelled far to ask for your aid in writing a great injustice. The man in front of Bow Steve will continue to vote crisply. Chieftain Kitbakot of Nymans currently sits on the throne of the Nymans, but I am the true rightful ruler of those lands. If you aid me in pressing my claim, I shall swear fealty to you and serve you loyalty till the end of my days. Oh, is that so? Disloyal, paranoid, suspicious. I shall press your claim within the year. Stick around. You might be useful to me. The foreign guest person. Oh, wait a minute. It's that same event like the Ashkenaz guy. The Uyghur ruler does not care what the bullet-pop peasants gargle about. Last requested. In a brief moment of silence, I see Count Uzak making crude gestures before realizing his turn to speak. My liege, says, here is precious time to finalize his thoughts before continuing. Smiles and laughter are a great indicator of a lively court. So I suggest it would make a great gesture in his conference. If I may, Yaptko Sagarai speaks of silence. A gesture will ruin the sophisticated air of this court, replace its refinement with crude, infantile humor. I could do that to him, but... Gluttonous crave forgiven. The monthly salary of 0. And it'll be 50% cheaper to employ. Yeah, I'll employ him. I do need entertainment. That's what we're lacking. Entertainment. And plus, having a jester around can help you reduce your stress. Look at it. Here it is. When you have a court jester, stress gains reduced, but what are the other tasks could do? Entertain courtiers to chance to reduce stress. If he's good or above, up to 2 courtiers can be targeted every year. He doesn't have good intrigue, so we can't field a rumor mill around here. Or abuse the gesture, which gives him good dread. Oh, just leave him alone. It all costs prestige anyhow. Anyways, a claimant war against him. How much does it cost the prestige to... Sorry about that, man. I can't press your claim right now. Despite your good intentions. At least the Uyghur law had broke away. The moon and agriculture. As part of my official duties, I sometimes visit the nearby manors and farms to see how they're doing. Today, I'm accompanied by a local scholar specializing in agriculture. His knowledge is often employed to ensure we have a bountiful harvest. We met with some peasants to discuss how things are going. The scholar and peasants have a lively discussion about ensuring the crops are planted at the right time during the lunar cycle. As I do not follow the conversation to it well, I understand a basic principle. Just as the moon influences the ocean tides, it makes sense it also influences the water within our soil. The moon is a truly powerful celestial body. Gained 13 years for learning about the moon's effect on agriculture, plus 1 stewardship and learning. For historical context, the moon's effect on the ocean tides have been known since ancient times. For instance, it was mentioned in Dante's Divine Comedy and Galileo. Amusingly enough, mocked the concept as being scientific and outdated, believing that heliocentrism to be the better cause for the tides. Historically, a similar phenomenon was believed to have occurred on land as well. A waning moon moved water in the soil downwards, while a waxing moon drew it upwards towards the surface. This resulted in a variety of theories to What was the optimal planting time for various crops? A 15th century Spanish treatise stated, for instance, melons, cucumbers, gourds, ords, sorghum, onions, and green beans can be sown in the waning moon. Cabbage seed and radishes in the old moon. Green beans and sorghum and spelt can be sown on the new moon. Grass, fig trees, and other trees in the waxing moon. Wonder what people of Central Asian cultures, including this far out here, thought about such things. I opened my eyes and could immediately tell I slept in. Light streams from the window and bathed the room, warming me slightly while I hid under my blankets. I lazily look around the room and think to myself that perhaps, rather than going about the business of ruling my domains, I could just stay in bed just for the day. After all, the room would be just fine without Zord for the day, would it not? Alright, it's time to get up. Reduce that stress more and more before I lose my head. Unsolicited musical number. As of late, my heart's been bursting at the seams. While I know my courtiers and servants simply want to go out their daily business, I can't help but wanting to break out into poetry to woo all them. Those among my courtiers. You, Spy Master. Standing on the other side of the room makes it abundantly clear he's not enjoying my constant singing as a. While this behavior is clearly unbecoming for a lord of my stature, do I truly care when there's a whole world devoid of my sweet sonnets? Let it go, let it go. I lose a lot of stress because I'm gregarious and a poet. I mean, after all, I am rather melancholic and a poet. Yeah. I'm feeling not so stressed as I once was, despite my prone to greediness. A depressed poet. That's a first. And I successfully learned the Antiquity language. Send a letter. 99% chance success. Pressing my knowledge. And as for you, 3, 2, 1. Not sway. God damn it. Son goes first steps. Let me educate you as well. So, I hear commotions of my daughter's son was resisting inside. I see wetness and playing with son. But my liege, perfect timing. Just took a first step. She saw it's exciting. One of my girls then tries to walk around the room. What? A giant step for a child, a small step for a ruler. Check the offensive war opinion. Goes down bit by bit. That's all I care about. Trying to get everybody in line. When I gain this land and that land, it'll all be yours. Even though he can only hold one. Okay. Who knows, maybe I'll give it to some herder. It's just the northern frontier needs to be secured. And how's your herd? Very slow gain. Don't worry, we'll get you more land. More of that fine grazy land as it's abundant grazing season. Hope everything will be alright. Help me, Mother. Mother. Oh, she's infirm. We need a new physician. And the one who's most qualified is Atrak. This costs prestige for doing that, but it's for your sake. Felt extremely lazy as late, never wanted to do anything. Today I don't feel like continuing to do my official duties, for instance. Ah, damn it. I think I'll go eat some tasty food. Be entertained by a court jester. Jokes, acrobatics, poetry. Bring forth the entertainment. Help me! Jokes about whips. Thank you. I was going through an episode here. Unfortunately, my conditions deteriorated further over the last few days. I have expected the bad news of anonymous stance. Until I was diagnosed with a serious condition. I'm in the hands of God. Gout-ridden. Oh, no! Actually, no, that's not gout, it's pneumonia. That's worse! I mean, at least you're not near death, but still. Pneumonia. Pneumonia ain't nothing to mess with. We better stop this train, or there'll be some grave digging to do, as the quote from the Oregon Trail goes. And I just finished my Manichean manuscript. I'll read about that at the moment, as it is one of the 7 treatises, important canonical scriptures of Manichaeism. When these treatises, these are wise teachings that will guide Mani's church to the end of the days. What does it matter now? I'm gonna die of pneumonia if I don't get better soon. As the Etiquette, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much obedience without devotion is worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I avoid such a risk? I have more men to impress. Is pneumonia gonna kill me? What's gonna happen? I'm not doing anything right now. As the weeks pass, I feel my body growing stronger and stronger till the day I stop coughing and pressure upon my chest. Fortunately, I was able to beat pneumonia and will live to tell the story. I could count myself lucky. Big stress loss. Next year, we're gonna get you. Alright? The next year will be these 2 wars. I mean, not at the same time, but you get the idea. Because I plan on ending the episode with the Bema ceremony. The Bema festival. So switch over. But first, a fiery sermon that my mother held for all the children of the court, apparently spellbound, and zealously read from the scriptures. My son, Panctai, seemed to take it to heart, perhaps a little too much. He had been hounding the servants for hours, pointing out how they could be better Manicheans. Faith is just a means to an end. It's better for you to be ambitious than to be zealous, to be real honest. Do we have any prisoners with money? Oh yes. Get your wife back. Deceitful. Well, I know someone who knows all about the arts of... Well, she's curious too. Mother teacher. Mother knows best. My mother. So at the beginning of January, we will hold the Bema Festival, which will be the last act for this episode. Because next episode we'll be securing the northern frontier finally before we turn our attention eastward. So who knows what would happen over there. And whether or not, whenever they are going to get Khotan back, if they ever ask me to fight in their war again. Alright. This is going to be the Bema Festival. That's what we're ending this episode with. For historical context, the Bema Festival marked the end of the religious year for Manicheans and commemorated the martyrdom of the founder of Manichaeism, Prophet Mani. The festival's name, Bema, comes from the Greek word for platform, stage, or judge's seat, as the centerpiece of the event was an empty throne where Mani was believed to have come down to absolve the faithful of their sins. One moment. As a reminder, now that I have this artifact equipped, gives you 2 learning, clergy opinion. So, yes, it's a collection of poems written by Prophet Mani's direct disciples. At one of the canonical manuscripts is the Psalms and Prayers. Equipping this artifact reduces the gold cost to perform the Wicked Confession of Sins and the Bema Festival. So, as we said, at the end of the religious year, the followers of Mani, the final prophet, commemorate his passion, after which he passed into parinirvana. During this Bema festival, it is said that Mani himself has comes to give absolution, as the faithful performs rituals to free the light from its prison of matter. So you will gain prestige, piety, lose stress, positive character modifiers, and very rarely lose sinful or negative traits. As long as you have the Liberation Light as purification, and the month has to fall on either January, February, or March. Obviously it's going to be held right here in Qocho. And there's 3 different intents: purification, spiritual guidance, and confession. Honestly, these days, go towards confession. I will focus on repenting my sins, the sin of greed, and hopefully get rid of my melancholic as well. Melancholy. I'll gain more piety on top of the base amount. Increased chances of losing sinful or negative traits. Loses additional stress if you're honest or humble, which I'm neither. And you can adjust the fast length. 1 day, very low chance of losing negative traits, almost inexistent chance of gaining a negative modifier affecting your health. Lose a base amount of -5 stress. A day of fasting will suffice preparation for the Bema Festival, since I'm not a member of the elect. You can go up to 1 week. Low chance of losing negative traits, very low chance of gaining a negative health modifier. Lose base amount of -10 stress. Though I'm not a member of the elect, I should show my devotion to the doctrine of Mani by fasting adequately before the Bema Festival. Well, let's do it for 1 month fast. Decent chance of losing negative traits. Low chance of gaining a negative modifier affecting your health. Lose a base amount of -20 stress. I want to get rid of my stress for good. I may not be a member of the elect, but it is my duty as a follower of Mani's teachings to do what I can to liberate the light by doing lots of fasting before the Bema Festival. But now you can adjust how much alms of fruit you're willing to spend your money on. Since the base cost is 72, we can go up further. Go up to sizable, cost you 50, or up to 100 for generous. So we're going to give out generous alms of fruit to gain 300 in piety and prestige. I will offer as much fruit as I can for the elect to eat. In doing so, we will liberate an innumerable amount of light. Anybody that is of Manichean willing to come over and be our guests. Let's start. It'll be 21 days till it begins. Oh, and one more thing before we really get this festival started. That word you saw, parinirvana. What is that? Parinirvana. In Manichaeism, parinirvana has a different meaning than in Buddhism, which the term was derived from. Due to the Manicheans' propensity to assimilate other religions' vocabulary to spread their teachings, Buddhist parinirvana refers to the final passing away of a Buddha or other being who has attained nirvana, whereupon their physical existence ends and they've liberated themselves from the cycle of birth and rebirth. Manichean parinirvana, however, refers to the death and martyrdom of Prophet Mani, which is also compared to the Passion of Jesus. The fast begins. The Bema festival is soon upon us, the most important celebration of Manichaeism. It is the time of the year we remember the martyrdom of Mani, the apostle of Jesus, who will come to us in a spiritual form to absolve us of the sins we confess. As we liberate the light from this dark material world, before the Bema festival, however, hearers such as myself must engage in fasting as preparation. We will avoid that which perpetuates the entrapment of light and matter, such as eating food, especially that which is not vegetarian, consuming intoxicating substances, and engaging in sexual acts. We will purify ourselves before the festival starts. 1 second. Switch. Equipping this artifact lets its owner gain extra prestige. When I write another manuscript, I'll be sure to go for the one that's got piety. And now a month-long fast. We completed our fasting and preparation of the Bema festival. We can now begin the occasion properly, having purified ourselves. We all file into the central hall, gathering with the elect. At the end of the hall there lies an empty throne, save for a portrait of Mani, our prophet. It is here where he will descend spiritually and absolve us of our sins after confession. Now that everyone is here, we can begin. And I recently gained this modifier. It says Rice Manichean Fast Self Modifiers. So it's not correct because a bit of an oversight, which they'll have it fixed in the next upcoming Rice Flavor Pack update, which will feature the Nubia Flavor Pack, by the way. So who knows if I'll do a video series on that in the far future. So I gain a minor health penalty for the next 3 years. So I should be alright. As long as I don't get sick again. At first, it begins simply, a pulse of prayer, sung by one of the elect, and then suddenly, one by one, more voices join in, of all the elect and hearers in the room. We come together, singing together the hymns of our faith. We come together, weeping in sorrow as we remember the parinirvana of Mani. We come together, weeping in joy, as we confess our sins, and Mani descends from light high above and absolves us of those sins. For a moment, there is nothing surrounding me but the sound of light, of purity, of power, of wisdom, and the vision of the Bema throne, empty save for the portrait of Mani. It is a glorious, no, a miraculous experience. After the overwhelming emotions, sounds, and visions of the confession ceremony, we move on to the next part of the Bema festival. Throughout the year, the elect maintain a vegetarian diet, for by consuming the plants, these holy figures are able to release most light back to the heavens, freeing the light from the world of matter. The Bema festival is perhaps the most important occasion for this, and the elect nobly eat the plants we have picked for them, while praying for the salvation of the light and our souls. After this, the elect deliver various sermons to preach the profound teachings of Mani, and urge us to continue our good deeds for the coming year. May the light be freed from darkness. At last, this year's Bema festival has come to an end. Mani had come to absolve us of the sins we've confessed, as more and more light was freed and returned to the heavens. Such a powerful, grand, intense event only happens once a year. We'll be ready for the next occasion. Until then, we should do our best to engage in virtuous acts to free the light and scorn the darkness wherever we can. We praise the truth of Mani, the Supreme Illuminator. Lose 24 stress, gain 300 piety, 300 prestige, and gain an additional 20 piety. So I only got this, but unfortunately you did not get rid of greedy nor melancholic, which I don't know if the chances of that can actually happen unless you do more and more of it. But we will end the episode on that note. In the next episode, secure the northern frontier, and then we will turn our attention towards here. Because in the far future, whenever we get up to the level devotion of devoted servant, I could do a kingdom-sized holy war, but it needs to be for Guazal as a whole. This may require fighting a series of wars with them before we can get to that. So, these two first, and then we'll fight for Gao Cheng, which there is a decision to claim that kingdom. Complete control of these, I'll gain the prestige, gain the renown, revive the kingdom for this permanent dynasty modifier here, and we'll have a merchant tax in Qocho, the county of. Yes. So, lots of more movement to do in the next episode. Not that long now. But until then, so long for now.